Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to another edition of the Cerebral Smack Talk. Yes, on Monday night. Whoever would have thought? But we are here. It's Girl MF Michael Fletcher alongside my good buddy Anthony Florio. We are awaiting the arrival of Michael Bullock. If he shows up, great. If he doesn't, he'll be back tomorrow night for another edition of Ridiculously Raw. Yeah, so sorry for what happened, guys. Work commitments beyond my control had me coming in a little more than I was going to be on. So we kind of wanted it to table this episode, and we're going to do it on a Monday. So here it is, TNA, Smackdown, and AAA. We got a lot to talk about, so not a lot of time. So let's just dive right on in. We're going to start out with TNA wrestling. And it was, at the very beginning, was the Hardys going up against Sinner and Saint. At the end of the match, when it was all said and done, the winners of the bout in 5 minutes and 10 seconds was the Hardys. This is an all right match. I would say about 2 stars is my rating. Could have been a little better, but it is what it is. I don't mind the matchup and how they did it. And actually, Jeff Hardy has a new submission move called the spinal destination, kind of like a reverse full Nelson. All right. I mean, it's hard for us to kind of grasp Jeff Hardy doing a submission move when we all know him doing the Swanton bomb to normally put his opponents away. All right. I mean, interesting. We'll see if this kind of clicks beyond down the line. But Anthony Florio, it's yours. The Hardys wins in 5-10 to start off TNA Impact.
2.5 stars. There was not much to see here, though. The Spinal Destination is a hell of a name for a move. Sinner and Saint might not be a great team, but they're good enough to be out there to polish up someone like the Hardys. It seems like we're still coming up on the Righteous getting another shot at the Hardys, so keeping the champs strong is a good idea. So there isn't much more to add. 2.5 stars. Let's continue on here.
Indy Hartwell going one-on-one with Kelsey Heather. Indy Hartwell wins the match in 2 minutes and 52 seconds. We're just going to bypass this one.
Yes,
so we're
please.
just going to go we're going to go on to the next one. Oh, this one we're going to get into, Anthony.
Definitely.
Order 4 going up against Trey Miguel, BDE, and Rich Swann. And when it was all said and done, it was Trey Miguel, BDE, and Rich Swann winning the matchup. 12 minutes, 26 seconds. Florio, it is yours.
Well, dadgummit, that was a lot of fun, wasn't it? Oh, man. Yeah, that was fun, all right. 3.5 to 3 3/4 of a star. It was a wild match where they started fast and kept it going the whole time. That's not something you often see around there, and it worked very well, with Trey Miguel looking like a star in the end. I could go for Mustafa Ali winning something for a change, but like I said, dadgummit, that was a blast, man. Simple. So 3.5, teetering on 3 3/4. You could make an argument for Fight of the Night if you wanted to. It was that good. So that's my thought. 3.5 to 3 3/4. MF, what says you?
Yeah, 3.5. Absolutely. This was an excellent matchup. It was hard hitting. That was a fun 6-man tag team fight. And that was exactly what it needed it to be. At the end of the day, the right outcome was there. Obviously, you want to give Trey Miguel and the boys a good win. Order 4 doesn't need to, they don't need to worry about the loss here. It was fun for what it was worth. So we're just going to move right on along, which was AJ Francis versus Elijah. And AJ Francis wins the match in 6 minutes and 2 seconds. This was all right. I mean, if you want to call fun little sprint, fine. But it was Frankie Kazarian getting involved that cost Elijah the match. So it looks like we may be getting Elijah versus Frankie down the line. But at the end of the day, AJ gets the win. It was about another 2.25 star match. So Anthony, it is yours as AJ Francis wins in 6:02.
This was more about furthering Elijah and Frankie Kazarian, which is one of those more okay feuds that I can remember in TNA in a long time. AJ Francis not doing much of his own, though I am curious to see what he does next, as he's rather effective as a heel. The match was not exactly much to see, but it did at least serve a purpose. That's all I can give. 2.5 stars. Let's move on.
All right, next we're gonna have another blow by. This was Ricky Sosa versus Brad Attitude. It was Ricky Sosa winning the match in 3 minutes and 33 seconds.
TNA
like you said,
debut
not
for
much
Ricky
to
Sosa.
talk about. Yes, and he was very. I'm gonna say this: viral sensation, and the crowd ate it up. The crowd made this a moment for Ricky, and I hope we get to see more of him down the line. The match, it was all right. He did hit a Blue Thunder Bomb for the win, which was, whoa, I liked it. So Ricky was impressive, but again, it was a small sample size, not enough for me to really say yay or nay on him. So I hope we see more of Ricky, because it looks like the fans are behind him in TNA. So hopefully it's a start for a good thing for Ricky, but we'll see. Main event of the evening, Moose versus Cedric Alexander. Moose wins the match in 16 minutes and 13 seconds. Anthony, I think we all know what this was. Fight of the night.
4 to 4.25 stars. Good hardcore style match here, at least partially, because they didn't go nuts with the weapons. I can go with the idea of just beating on each other until one of them can't get up, as it's better than doing a bunch of ridiculous spots. Moose's path of destruction continues, though, if I'm going to be honest with you, Alicia Edwards turning on him feels all but inevitable. I'm still waiting for that moment. I still get this feeling that she's going to turn on him at some point. But for right now, this was definitely the fight of the night here. This was a good 4 to 4.25 star match. And I believe Brian Myers is next on the hit list next week for Moose, as he wants to take out each member of the system one by one. I think he'll get by Brian Myers. I think he'll beat Bear Bronson. But then eventually he'll have to show down with Eddie Edwards. And I think that could be where Alicia finally turns on Moose. But we'll see. 4.25 fight of the night. MF, your thoughts?
Yeah, 4.25, no doubt about it. That definitely fight of the night. Well done. And the match was, like you said, they didn't really need to go trigger happy with the weaponry, and they didn't. And I think it was a solid matchup, to say the very least. So yeah, fine for what it was worth. Great segment to close it, and 7 to 7.5 out of 10 for TNA. I think they had a very fluid show. It was good in certain areas. There wasn't really anything that really stood out. It just felt like a very smooth paint by numbers. Didn't need to accelerate, but it had this nice little flow of the show. It was it's an enjoyable watch. It's an easy watch. 7 to 7.5 for me. Anthony, it's yours.
7.5 for me. TNA is getting back into their usual groove, as they don't have much that is must see, but everything they do have is easy to understand, and it feels like they sum things up rather well almost every week. That is a good way to bring in new fans, as nothing feels too complicated from week to week. That was the situation again here, as you can easily follow what they're doing on the way to Sacrifice. Keep that going and things should be fine, as we lead into the next TNA Plus special on the 27th of this month, which is 11 days away. So I'm going to set the table for that next week on Ridiculously Raw. So there's a hook right there. So I'll set the table for that when we wrap up the show next week. So for me, 7.5 out of 10. MF, let's keep this quick thing going and move on to Smackdown.
All right, we started out with the MFTs versus the Wyatt Six, and when it was all said and done, it was the Wyatts winning the match in 10 minutes and 40 seconds. Look, solid opener, good matchup. I would say This was about, I would give this about 2.5, close to 3, but I could even say 2 3/4 of a star. This was a solid matchup at 10 minutes and 40 seconds, and the Wyatts gets the win, which opens the door for them to possibly get another shot at the tag team titles. This is a championship committee moment. The Wyatts does open the door for them to get yet another shot, maybe a showdown at WrestleMania. So we'll see. But it's gonna be very interesting to watch. Really nothing more to add. And Anthony, like I said, solid matchup. Wyatts win it in 10:40. It's yours.
All right. This is one of those times where I got to be the man who tells it like it is. Constructive criticism coming the way here. MF, you remember a certain word I've thrown around here, a certain B word that I've thrown around here. Boring. To the point, it's gotten to the point that this feud has overstayed its welcome and then some. It feels like WWE has no idea what to do with any of these guys once it's over, so it keeps stretching it out. This bout did not add anything interesting to the story and followed a predictable pattern. It wasn't bad, but it turned into a huge brawl at the end, which was the most predictable thing about it. And back and forth we go with the lantern. Nikki Cross thought she had it. Solo, she distracted Solo long enough for Uncle Howdy to hit his finisher for the win, but Tama Tonga took out Uncle Howdy, stole the lantern back, and that's all there really is to say. So there's only one interesting thing that these two groups have left, and that I believe is a singles match, an eventual singles match, a be a man fight, if you will, between the big man Tama Tonga and Rowan. That's the only interesting thing you have left when it comes to this. This is one of those things that I consider boring, if I'm going to be honest with you. And so with that being said, I'll be generous with the rating. I'll give it about 2.5, teetering on 3 for the effort. So not much more to say there. So with that being said, MF, let's move on.
It was Michin versus Jade Cargill 1-on-1. And it was Jade Cargill winning the match in 8 minutes and 23 seconds. Not much of a build, Anthony. It's kind of more, Jade stayed strong, looking good more than anything else. And it's kind of more or less just them setting up for WrestleMania with her and Rhea Ripley. But you can call this a paint by numbers type match more than anything else.
I will say this. While there were some rough spots, this was actually one of Jade Cargill's better matches in recent memory, and a lot of the credit for that goes to Michin, bringing so much energy to the ring. So I could give this about maybe, and then after the match, Jade delivered a promo directed at Rhea, which brought Rhea to the ring to confront her. Jade left without a fight to play some mind games, so best I can do here would probably be about 2.5, 2 3/4. And in case you forgot, Michin was out for a couple of months after she was injured during a live event match against Jade Cargill back in December. So that's what came about here. So 2.5, 2 3/4. MF, your thoughts on all this?
Yeah, it was about 2.5. I think they did a fine job. It was an okay fight. Yeah, it was rough in certain areas, but again, I don't think there's really much for us to talk about here. So really nothing more to say, and we'll wait and see how it goes. So next up we had was the big one, the WWE Women's Tag Team titles on the line. It was Charlotte Flair and Alexa Bliss against the Irresistible Forces, Nia Jax and Lash Legend. The fight gets thrown out in 8 minutes and 8 seconds because the Bellas hit the ring. Brie Bella went after Nia Jax. That call for the bell. Oh. Okay, I get it. They're setting up for a mega fight, a multi-woman tag team match at WrestleMania. We knew the Bellas were going to be involved in some point. We knew this was going to happen. We all knew the Bellas were going to get involved. We know that Charlotte and Alexa's going to be there. We know the Irresistible Forces. If you watch Monday Night Raw, it looks like another team is getting involved that's going to go after these belts as well because they did hint about it. I got to give credit where credit's due. I appreciate Triple H and the guys wanting to push the tag team division because that was one of the biggest criticisms we've been having for the longest time is that the women's division doesn't get pushed enough. And if you relatively speak about this and think about it in the grand scheme of things, a lot of the times the women's division is sometimes better than the men. There's no argument on this. So I get it. I understand it. And sometimes it kind of racks my brain about why they do this, how they do this, how they get to this point, whatever you want to talk about, whatever the case may be. I'm just a little disappointed that we didn't get a finality about it, but I get it. It's necessary. This is that storybook progression that we love that WWE does, but this is one of those times where I kind of have to hang my head and say, what the heck? So it's fine. I get it. It serves its justice here. It is a 2.25, 2.5 star match. I get it, but there's a little bit of a disappointment for me on this one because, like I said, it serves its purpose. I get it, Anthony. It's yours.
Do you have a rating for this, or did I miss it?
2.25. I said 2.25.
2.25. Yeah. 2.25, 2.5. A non-finish to a title match is never ideal, especially when you can see it coming from a mile away. This is, like you said, MF, it's very likely going to lead to a multi-team title bout at WrestleMania. Bree said the Bellas were next in line for a title shot, which makes no sense because they have done nothing to earn one. They haven't even teamed up since 2018. Make it make sense. Make it make sense. That's all I can honestly say about that. So,
the only thing I can think of that is because of their Hall of Fame status, that's why they believe they get the shot. But that doesn't fly with me. Yeah, that doesn't fly with me. That doesn't fly with anybody in the building. So,
and they wonder why they have a lot of haters.
Yeah.
That's the reason.
There you go.
Nice to look at. They're nice to look at. Don't get me wrong. They're nice to look at. But
I mean, I mean, of course, Bree is a mother of two. Nikki has Mateo, her son. So yeah, I mean, it is what it is. It's just I don't know. I get why they want to get it because it's because of their name recognition. It's because they are the Bellas. They're Hall of Famers. They think that they should get this opportunity on a silver platter. I think you got to earn your shot. Charlotte and Alexa, they earned their right to the tag team titles. And they got gypped. They got ripped out of it. So I mean, I get it. I know why. And Alexa was like, "What? Wait a minute. You want the shot?" I kind of got a feeling like if they get the opportunity, I could see them return the favor, and that'll lead to the multi-person fight. But we'll see.
Friday night.
But yeah,
this Friday night.
All right,
the Bellas.
Yeah, they get the shot. So we'll see. All right, so let's move on. Next up, we had was a tag team matchup: Damian Priest and R-Truth versus Los Garza. And it was Damian Priest and R-Truth winning the match in 11 minutes and 1 second. Florio, it's yours.
Sleeper fight of the night for me. It was, 3.25. It was obviously booked to make R-Truth and Damian Priest look good before the challenge for the WWE Tag Team Championship. But what it really did was illustrate how underutilized Los Garza have been on SmackDown. What should have been a throwaway bout ended up being one of the highlights of the night, which was admittedly a low bar to clear at this point in the show. And that's all I can honestly say about it. So, sleeper fight of the night for me. 3.25 stars. MF, what a pleasant surprise. I was expecting a 3 to 4 minute throwaway, a cutout, but no. This ended up
No,
being
they
the
gave
pleasant
it.
surprise of the night. I was not expecting this to be any
Yeah,
good whatsoever.
absolutely. This was a great matchup. This was at least three, like you said, 3.5, 3 3/4. And this was an excellent, excellent tag team match. Didn't have any business to be anything good, and they overcame and they did something even better than what even I expected. So yeah, solid matchup, no doubt about it. Next up that we had was Tiffany Stratton going one-on-one. Oh, wait, is it Tiffany? Let me see. Actually, no. Wait,
There
did
was a
I?
Miz TV segment.
No, I don't want to do the Miz TV.
Yeah,
All
yeah,
right, it was Tiffany Stratton. It was Tiffany Stratton versus Kiana James, and yeah, it is Tiffany winning the match in 7 minutes and 39 seconds. I kind of got a little sidetracked there. I'm not using my regular notes that I normally use. I'm using something else this time around. So 7:39, Tiffany wins the match, and so it was an okay match. Yep. Again, Kiana looking better in the ring week in and week out, and she does looks really good. And now, if you look at Tiffany, all of a sudden, that women's United States title may be on the line at Mania, and there's been some rumors about Tiffany versus Julia now to possibly go down at WrestleMania. And I don't mind this. I like Tiffany Stratton. I love her body of work. I think she has been amazing. And Julia, everybody knows how much I love Julia. The Beautiful Madness has been, I kind of feel like they finally found her niche. She finally found it. And I kind of feel like as long as they can keep that going, maybe we get something good here at WrestleMania. This might be a sleeper fight. One that we might not remember at when this is all said and done, but we might come around on this and say, you know what, that was a pretty good fight. That's a pretty good match. So I think Tiffany and Julia, given the right time and given the right, if they got the chemistry correct, I could see this as like an underrated sleeper fight at WrestleMania. And I think that's where we're heading for this one. So this is about, again, another 2.25, 2.5. Anthony, it's yours. Tiffany Stratton winning the match in 7:39.
2.5. The ending was a little convoluted, but they had some good moments in this match. It's too bad a good chunk of it happened during a commercial break, though. 2.25 to 2.5 stars, and I agree with everything. I mean, I've been hearing those same rumors. I think we're definitely looking at Tiffany Stratton challenging Julia for the Women's United States Championship. Could very easily be added to the Mania card. It may not be the most ideal match for some. I know some will not really. Some will probably consider it like a filler match, the old get everybody on the card match, as they say. But it is what it is. So even though I'm with you, MF, I wouldn't mind seeing this. I mean, it could be an underrated gem. It absolutely could. So 2.5 stars for me. Outcome never in doubt. And yes, MF, I do believe Mania, unless they want to do it sooner, you never know. But Tiffany is too big of a name to leave off the WrestleMania card, especially coming off of her big win a year ago against Charlotte. So Tiffany definitely is too big of a name to keep off that Mania card. So I could definitely see Tiffany and Julia for the women's U.S. title at Mania. So 2.5, move on.
All right. The in-ring main event of the evening, as it was Trick Williams going one-on-one with Jacob Fatu. And the winner of the bout in 11 minutes and 24 seconds was Trick Williams. But here's the thing. Earlier in the night, Drew McIntyre was demanding another shot at the WWE Championship. Nick Aldis said no. Jacob Fatu came out, and Drew McIntyre's like, forget this. You're not going to give me what I want. I'm done. I quit. He left. And we all thought, maybe that means is he out of WWE? Is that mean he's heading off to AEW? Oh, no. Drew comes back, Claymore on Jacob Fatu, and basically helps Trick get the win. Drew McIntyre knew exactly what he's doing. He's just picking his spots, making his moments, doesn't care about what Nick Aldis says, doesn't care what Jacob Fatu says, doesn't care what anybody says. He marches to the beat of his own drummer, and that's exactly what he did here on Friday. Anthony, Trick Williams, you can say it, biggest win of his career. He just took down the Samoan werewolf. He took down Jacob Fatu. Yes, a little help by Drew McIntyre, but at the end of the day, you know what Trick Williams is going to say? I don't give a damn. I just took him down. Give me my respect. So it's yours.
Yeah, 3.25 to 3.5 stars for this. These are two guys who both work a very physical style. So they were able to put on a fun encounter, especially considering their lack of experience working together. And with Drew McIntyre coming back after quote-unquote quitting and taking out Jacob Fatu, we all know where the end game for this is. Drew McIntyre, Jacob Fatu at WrestleMania. Not a matter of if, but a matter of when. And that's going to be a man fight, going to be a banger. No doubt about that. So each of our brands has that be a man banger fight. This is it for the SmackDown side. Drew McIntyre and Jacob Fatu. On the Raw side of things, wait till you hear what we got to say. Just wait till
tomorrow, folks. Oh, yeah. Just wait for tomorrow.
Oh, I expect plenty of
can't believe. Yeah, this is going to be something else. I can't believe this is happening. I cannot believe we're actually getting this at Mania, but we'll get into it tomorrow night.
For sure. So 3.25, teetering on 3.5. Not much more. MF, we move on to the moment that we were. I'll pull out another gorilla-ism. The moment we were all waiting for when it came to SmackDown this past Friday night. Something that usually doesn't end well, in the immortal words of JBL and Michael Bullock.
Yeah, it normally doesn't, and it did not end well. We'll say that. It was the contract signing, Randy Orton and Cody Rhodes making it official for their match at WrestleMania. And, they signed the contract. There was some words that was exchanged between the two men, and then Randy Orton basically, he signs, Cody applauds, so they do a bro hug, and Orton goes off. Orton low blows Cody, then starts to beat him down. Absolutely goes annihilation on Randy Orton. And once it was all said and done, Randy Orton had his hands on the WWE Championship, sitting down, and had the belt basically positioned right around his waist. The fans ate this up, and I will note this. The fans were cheering for Randy Orton during this beatdown. It's like the Viper snapped and the fans ate this up. And the funny thing is that if you were trying to manipulate, trying to make Randy Orton the heel in this segment, the fans were not buying it. They absolutely were eating this up. I hate to say this, they are loathing Cody Rhodes right now. And there's a couple of guys in my Discord group, they're like, oh no. They're going to make Cody Rhodes do the Super Cena trick. They're going to make Cody be the Super Cena, and that Cody is going to beat Randy at WrestleMania, but what is the purpose? That's not the storyline that you need to go with. And even one of my friends was like, they could have done this leading up to WrestleMania. You didn't need to pull the trigger now, not that soon. You know, you could have waited for the week before WrestleMania to pull the trigger, to have Orton turn on Cody, or you could have done vice versa. You could have had Cody turn on Orton. Because let's be realistic, Cody has gotten a lot of boos, I'm not going to say a lot of heat, but there's been some people that's been very down on Cody lately, saying, what is the purpose of Cody getting all these accolades? I mean, think about it. On the road to WrestleMania, he went through the Royal Rumble, went through Elimination Chamber, all for him to win back the WWE Championship on a random Smackdown. It's like you did all that for nothing. Orton winning the Rumble was a pleasant shock. For Orton to win the Chamber was a pleasant shock. But the thing was, at the end, fans are now going to feel like, oh, Cody's going to get the Roman Reigns treatment, the Super Cena treatment. Cody's probably going to win WrestleMania now because of what Randy just did. I honestly feel that if you're going to do this, this is what I would do. Let Orton win at Mania. Let him get the 15th. Let him get the 15th reign. Then you run this back at SummerSlam, and then maybe Cody gets his revenge on Orton. I want to see if they're going to let this happen, but I know right now there's a lot of stuff that's being played here. A lot at play more than anything else. And Anthony, whoo, they lit the match on this one, and kaboom! It exploded and it went wild right out of the gate.
Two friends signing a contract would usually be a pretty boring segment, but they did a great job hyping their match with Randy Orton's heel turn. This added some needed conflict to the story. And, well, there was more to this than met the eye. During Raw tonight, Randy Orton had he was on his phone with somebody. And I'm going to elaborate a great deal more about this tomorrow night, but I have a theory about who was on the other end of that call. So we'll wait and see on that. But this was the only way they could go. I mean, there's a lot of people out there who said, "Oh, Cody should have been the one to turn heel." No, that's not happening. As much as you want it, as much as a lot of people in the IWC want to see it, it's not happening anytime soon. Cody is way too valuable. I mean, he's way too valuable. He's the most over guy. He's the most over baby face in WWE. He's the face of the company. Why in the world would you want to turn him heel? It's not going to happen anytime soon. And yes, I will be. I've admitted it on this show many times, and I am not ashamed to admit it. I am a Cody Rhodes guy, absolutely. And believe it or not, MF, what you just said, I actually agree with. Cody is the face of the company with or without the WWE Championship. Cody Rhodes is still the face of the company. He doesn't necessarily need the championship to be the face of the company. He already is. And there's more money to be made when Cody is in chase mode. Like what he had with Roman what he had with Cena, what he had with McIntyre, and you can definitely run this back again with Randy Orton. They could very easily go down the same road, and this is now the third guy from the legendary WrestleMania 40 celebration that has now turned on Cody Rhodes. First it was Kevin Owens, then it was John Cena, now it was Randy Orton, and who knows, based on how he's been acting over the last several weeks, Sami Zayn might be the next to turn on Cody. Who knows? So, but a fantastic segment though, and a lot of people are saying, "Oh, Randy didn't turn heel; he turned babyface because the fans were cheering for him. Cody's the real heel here." I can definitely agree with that. I mean, over 112 million social media views for this clip alone. I think it's the highest clipped video of the year so far.
And not only that, but the likes on it is also overwhelming as well. The likes for that segment, seeing Randy Orton destroy Cody Rhodes, is absolutely been astronomical as well.
And I'm sure you as the Orton guy, I know how much. I'm sure you were loving every second of this. And in our circle,
actually, no, I wasn't, because of the fact that I thought it was too soon. I thought they hedged their bet on this. I would not have done it. Not in this way. I mean, I get
5
it.
weeks to go, and if
I
they
think you could have
doing
slow burned
the good guy stuff for 5 weeks, that would have been boring.
No, but the thing is, you can slowly tease Orton turning on Cody. You could have teased him by faking out on an RKO, or Cody maybe setting up Orton on a crossroads, and then Orton pulls out. I mean, you could have done it a number of different ways. I mean, you could have created tension before WrestleMania. Not now, not yet. How are you going to fill the rest of the time?
True. Very true.
I think and that was one thing that even one of my colleagues said. They said that I think WWE just felt like they had to push it now, put everything out there, and I kind of feel like they may have made a mistake. I don't know if they're going to be able to back this, but we'll see. Maybe the hint for what happened on Raw tonight maybe sets it up, but even then, I'm like, I don't know.
Well, we'll see. We'll see. Definitely the segment of the night by a mile. So, well, let's see what happens. Randy Orton will be on SmackDown Friday night, so hopefully we'll get a proper explanation as to why he did what he did, and maybe more about that mysterious phone call tonight. So we'll see. Not much more. I think it's overall thought time, and I believe I start off on this. So did you?
No, it's you. You lead off.
Friday SmackDown was a pretty forgettable show overall, but it definitely ended on a high note. Randy Orton's heel turn is going to add some drama to the WWE Championship feud heading into WrestleMania, which it was sorely lacking before this show. As far as the in-ring action goes, Jacob Fatu and Trick Williams put on a decent match, as did Los Garza's with R-Truth and Damian Priest. Everything else on the card was either too predictable or fell flat, but ending the show with Orton sitting with the title instantly made his feud with Cody more interesting. I could probably give this in excess of maybe right around 6.5 to 7 for me. So, MF, your overall thoughts, and then you can quickly get into the Reyes.
Yes, it's about, actually I partially disagree. I'd give it 7 to 7.5. I thought it was a better show than what you're giving it, Anthony. I thought it was fine for what it was worth. So that's my official rating for it. All right, here we go. The Reyes. It started out. It's a 3-week event. More than anything else. So here we go, and it started out in Puebla, Mexico. It's like we said, it's the first of 3. The first of 3 weeks, and we started out with a big surprise. Rey Fenix comes out, cuts a promo, then brings out Penta, and they talked about it that there could be a Lucha Bros reunion, and they did hit maybe at Triple Mania. So we may get the Lucha Bros at Triple Mania, and if that's the case, oh boy, that could be huge. Then obviously Penta putting over, being the Intercontinental Champion, being a champion for Mexico, and he actually said that he would like to put the title on the line in AAA against a Mexican wrestler. So we may get a future WWE Intercontinental Championship match in Mexico as part of AAA. Who knows? You don't know. We'll see. Then we did start out. First fight of the night was the Reina de Reyes champion, Flammer, putting the title on the line. Open challenge. Bailey answers the call on that one. And then the winner of the bout in 11 minutes and 38 seconds, and still the Reina de Reyes champion was Flammer. It was Los Tóxicas. Lady Maravilla and La Hierra hit the ring to try to interfere on, because it looked like Bailey was on her way to winning the title. And yeah, unfortunately, it did help. And Flammer does successfully defend the title and will move on. So the next up, all right, this is it. It was the big one, the Reyes de Reyes, the king of the ring, the final match, a fatal 4-way. Santos Escobar, the original El Grande Americano, the current El Grande Americano, and La Parca, winner of the bout in 19 minutes even, and the new Reyes de Reyes and the number 1 contender for the AAA Mega Campeonato. It is El Grande Americano. He wins the title. This was all over the place. First off, El Hijo de Dr. Wagner took out Santos Escobar. Then Rayo and Bravo showed up. They handcuffed the original El Grande Americano into the crowd. So that took them out. And then it was basically El Grande Americano using the loaded thing on La Parca and Santos Escobar for the 1, 2, 3 to win the Reyes de Reyes. He will get to be coronated on Saturday. This upcoming Saturday, he gets coronation, and that will be that. Now, just to let you guys know, let me see if they have it here. I don't think they do, because there was a lot of stuff that they were adding for next week's show, but it is fine. So we do have is a World Tag Team title match, as it will be the Viking Raiders versus the Psycho Circus, Pagano, and Psycho Clown. On top of that, we also will have a 6-person tag team matchup that will also happen next week. And then, of course, obviously the coronation of El Grande Americano as the Reyes de Reyes. And the main event for the AAA Mega Campeonato de Físico Completo. It is the champion, El Sucio, Dirty Dominic Mysterio, going up against El Hijo de Vecino, the winner of the bout, in 12 minutes and 55 seconds. And still, the Mega Campeon, it was Dirty Dominic Mysterio, Mini Vecchino got involved in the match. That because Omos tried to get involved to try to help El Hijo de Vecchino, and then that's when Mini Vecchino showed up, took them both out. Dom using the chair, setting up for the front, hit the 619 on El Hijo de Vecchino, the frog splash, 1, 2, 3, it's done. He wins it. And more importantly, the big news out of it, El Hijo de Vecchino will no longer be allowed to defend the AAA, will no longer be allowed to go after the AAA Mega Championship as long as Dominic holds the belt. And Vecchino is out of the picture. He cannot go after this title. And let me tell you, Mexico does love this. They don't want Vecchino anywhere near the title. This now becomes an albatross for Vecchino. He cannot go after this belt. And that's a major win for AAA, major win for Dirty Dom, because now that's one man that he doesn't have to worry about going after his title, but he does have one man that he needs to worry about now, and that is El Grande Americano, because now he gets the next shot at the Mega Championship. We don't know when it's going to go down. We haven't heard anything just yet, but obviously, when El Grande Americano makes the official announcement or when he decides to go after the belt, that is when it goes down. So, yeah. I mean, 8.5 out of 10 is my rating for the entire show. I thought they did an incredible job. And I'm excited for what they're going to be next week because it's a 3-week event. The big fight next week, like I said, is the World Tag Team Championship match between the War Raiders and the Psycho Circus. We'll see how that plays out. And then there will be a 3rd week. I think I remember they said that there was supposed to be a big championship match for that one too. I think that was the Fatal 4-Way for the Latin American title. I think that one's coming up too. So we got that coming down the pipeline. But whatever the case may be, that's our show. We're done. We're out of here. Tomorrow night is another edition of Ridiculously Raw, hosted by Anthony Florio. You know how we do it. Monday Night Raw, NXT, then on Thursday, well, actually on Friday night, I'm going to do it Friday, after SmackDown, we're going to do our edition of TXN Sports World. Here's the reason why. We are going to have the final. We are going to recap the World Baseball Classic. Oh, by the way, just to let you know, the finals are now set. Venezuela versus the United States. That's the game going down tomorrow night. Then we also got our continuing coverage of the NCAA tournament. We will recap the first round matchups. There could be bonus commentary, folks. We don't know how these games are going to go. Chances are we may get some bonus commentary. If it does, we'll lead you in on whatever action is left. We're going to recap all of the first round matchups because by then all the first rounds should be done, and then we may give you a little preview of the second round matchups for what could be happening on that weekend. So that's what we got for you all. It'll be at 11 p.m. And then 1 week from now on the Cerebral Smack Talk, that is when we do another edition of the show. As always, TNA. We're going to have SmackDown Live. And of course, I will be recapping the second week of Reyes de Reyes. So we got that for you all. That will be, I want to say about 10:30-ish is where I'm going with that one. So folks, that's our docket for the week. I hope you guys enjoy it. I hope you love all the content. We love you guys. You guys are the best fans in the world. Thank you so much. As always, from Anthony Florio, I am Michael Fletcher, saying so long, everybody, and we'll see you all tomorrow.